Alright, what's up guys? Today's the day to do an oil change on the old Maverick Sport. Pretty simple process. This will be my second one that I've done on this. Let's see what mileage we're rocking at this point. Come on. Here we go. You see that? I got 1,280 miles on this machine now. I've done one oil change on it already. I've done the front diff, I've done the rear diff. Today I'm just going to be doing engine oil, be lubing the chassis, suspension. I'll check the air filter, that type of stuff. Just some basic maintenance, check wheel bearings, that kind of stuff. I don't know exactly how in depth I'll go on this video, but for this one I mostly just want to cover the oil change. A few basic tools you're going to need, some things. You need yourself 17mm socket for the oil filter housing. I believe it's 8mm, for if my memory serves me correctly. I actually went down to the dealer, bought me an oil change kit, overpaid probably. But you know, I want to do it right. I'm running the 10x50 or 10W50 on this today, just because the weather's so hot here, and that's kind of what they recommend for really hot temperatures. For 122 degree Fahrenheit. Today it's 112 outside right now. Cost me 50 bucks for that. 53.36. Got some grease. I got me some coveralls and some gloves. Pretty simple stuff. We're gonna get started by removing the seats out of here. Okay, if this is your guys' first time ever removing the seats out of your Maverick or Maverick Sport, pretty simple. Just pull up there, pull up there. That one slides out. And then pull there, and then you'll actually lift that up, and then it comes right out. But on mine I gotta disconnect my harnesses. All right, throwback to my Halliburton days out in the good old oil fields. So we got a drain pan here. Let's get this scooted under here. Look at that cockroach in there. Nasty. You guys are not from southern Utah, there's cockroaches everywhere here. Every yard, every property's got them. Get our 17mm. Oh. Come under here. On the very back of the Maverick, we got right here is the drain hole for the rear diff. Come up here more to the middle of the machine. Right here is the drain plug for the engine oil. Good time is one-handed here. And I did warm the motor up a bit for a few minutes. Got her up to about 140 degrees. Bloop, burping here. All right, well that's draining out. We'll inspect this drain plug a little bit. I don't see anything sticking to the magnet really. There's just the tiniest little bit, like really nothing at all. So that's good news. All right, now I've heard of people screwing this part up, breaking the oil filter housing lid or whatnot. I mean, it's right here. There's one bolt, there's another bolt, and the third one's a little more tricky to get to, but it's back right here, right there. That's where that's at. So when you're doing this, you got to make sure that last bolt, you're on the right deal. And I've heard of people putting a screwdriver on there after they thought they got all three out and just breaking off one of the ears because they took the wrong bolt out. So pay attention, it's not hard. Okay, I've got all three of the bolts out of that oil filter housing. Now I like to just stuff a bunch of rags down underneath there, because when you pop that lid off, you're gonna get some spillage going on. So you gotta try and catch that as good as you can, and then get the filter out and clean it all up. And that'll probably take me just, I don't even know if I'll need a screwdriver to pop that off at all. If you got something plastic, a little trim removal tool, that might be a better option than using a screwdriver. Okay, so we got oil drained, we got oil filter out, there's the oil filter. And one of the benefits of going with the CanAm kit is you get a new O-ring that goes around the housing right here. You also get a new crush washer that goes on the drain plug. Otherwise you have to source that stuff yourself or reuse it, and honestly I've found you can probably reuse the crush washer a couple times and also the O-ring a couple or 3 times. Your mileage may vary, so do what you want, but they always suggest replacing that and replacing that, and they give you a couple different options for different machines. This kit is good for any V-twin 500 cc's and over. We'll get to the non-French side. So that's what this is. They give you 2.5 quarts. So you got to make sure you get the right amount in there. Don't go dumping all 2.5 quarts in, because I think that's going to be too much. I think it takes like 2.1 quarts or something like that. I'll have to verify before I dump oil in. So swap that out, put the new crush washer on, put the drain plug back in. Here's the filter going in. Rotax. Got the drain plug in. I'm going to put a little oil on that seal and plug it in. Okay, got drain plug in, oil filter housing back in and on. Now let's put some oil in this thing. Okay, so if we look in the manual, engine oil, capacity, oil change with filter calls out for 2.1 US quarts. So that's what we'll do. There's one. Somebody. Oh, drip. One thing. Oh, like it's in there. 2. 1. All right, that's not pee, that's oil. There's my 0.1 of a quart. So let's get that dumped in there as well. It's actually a little less than what they call 0.1. So I'm gonna do this. We'll run it a bit, and then we'll come back and check the oil level later. Let's see if I can get that in there. Might not be able to record that with my left hand. All right, we got all the oil in. Run it for a minute, let her sit, cool off. We'll check the level again and go from there as far as the oil level goes. Okay, now we're gonna move on to lubing the chassis. In the rear, on these machines, you get a grease point here. You got one on the other side, right there. There's not one on the upper arm. Down here, underneath here, It's actually two, one there and one over there, and then you have your sway bar mount. And then the exact same thing on the other side in the back. And on the front, you have the upper arm on each side, one underneath there, one underneath there, one here on the lower, and one there on the lower. And then if you have the sway bar on yours on the front, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't have mine on anymore, it's right here. There actually is a couple on the front sway bar as well. And I think that's it for those. Couple pumps there. Few pumps there. And don't forget the ones underneath on the knuckle down here. Whew. That's it for the back side. So just repeat the process on the other side, back and in the front, and you'll be good. All right, guys, I had to get out of the garage. I was baking way too much. Holy cow. The 112 outside, I don't know what it was in the garage. But as always, we appreciate you guys watching. If you have any comments or questions, hit us up in the comment section below. If this video was helpful for you, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, consider doing so. That'd be awesome. We love the support. We love what we're doing. You guys have a good day. We'll see you on the next one.